Okay, let's see if this actually worked. Ah, there we go. Maybe? No, it says I'm live. Hey, look at that. I'm live again. I'm alive. I'm alive. Wait. Okay. There we go. Let's get that going for the other one too. And let's pop this up here. Mother trucker. Okay. You. I need you. Copy. Edit. Sing. Control V. Shit. Okay. Do the same thing on here. Edit. Don't worry, I'll end up being called something else by tonight. Tomorrow? Something. Buy a something. Mother trucker. Oh no. What did I do? No, I did that right. Okay. I'm so confuzzled right now. Am I sure that this isn't a Monday? It certainly feels like a Monday. Okie dokie. Let's try this again. Maybe I'll be more successful this time. Anyways, welcome back, peoples. Woohoo, 10 minutes down. It's already been a very interesting start to the day. Woot. I'm gonna blame it on the weather. Yep, yep. I'm gonna blame it on the weather. Woohoo! Okay. We're gonna test that over here. Excellent. Okay. Okie dokie. There we go. Hey, look, everything's working now. Oh, now I understand why it says that. Okay. Okay. Wait, I was gonna do something real quick. Okie dokie. Alright, I still need to get her. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay, okay. Oh, shit. Huh? Well, what do you go to? Okie dokie doke. What am I doing? Other than just panicking. What the hell are my shoes? You are that layer. You're just having issues. You know what? Let's go ahead and get it. Alright. Will you stop that? Yes, I'm aware. Okay. Let's see. Um, Alright, because I'm super curious as to what this thing does now, so. Ooh, there we go. This is kind of what I was looking for earlier. Wish I had played with it. Let's go smaller. Yeah, that's immensely interesting. Oh, it looks so nice. Cool. Okay, dokie. Well then, let's go ahead and pause for this to render. Okay. Hey. Okay. Nope. Not dealing with acoustics. Oh wait. Oh. Okie dokie, Smokey. Mm. Hmm. Maybe. Oh, wait, you know what? That would probably be far more useful if it wasn't, you know, things. Woot. I have no idea if this will work. But you know what? We're gonna try it. Oh, right. This is like pattern fills, not action fills. Oh, hey, look, it does do action fills. That's interesting. Deep regret. Okay. Hmm. Why that affects it so much. If it's not water. Why are you harassing her today? Well, I guess I know what I'm doing on breaks. Trying to keep my youngest Fuzzy from killing my oldest Fuzzy by accident. I don't know what's gotten into them today, but oh my goodness. Okay. Come here, you. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Hi. What are you up to? What are you up to? Other than driving your sister insane. Hmm? Honestly, I don't know how parents do it with, you know, the chillins, the real chillins. Well, yeah, because, oh my goodness. Hi. Don't go over there. Oh my. Hey, hey! Yeah, right. Sorry about the confusion. I accidentally hit a button that I didn't know that I hit, and so, yep. Good morning. It looks more like really early morning where I'm at right now. It's supposed to rain all day today, and then it's supposed to snow tomorrow. I'm very concerned about that combination, because that usually means ice. Lots and lots of ice. Bro. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, that's interesting. How are your dolls coming? Woohoo! There you go. That's awesome. Yeah, I've got to do something similar. my my dog is gonna be so angry at me. No, they're not really. But they are going being happy, but that's okay. I recognize it and understand that it's my fault for leaving that be. Ooh! Is the hair all messed up still, or like you have this? You were very unhappy with how they were when we last talked about the dolls. So I think that crookedness adds character. Besides, unless a haircut is directly after the salon, 90% of the time they are so messed up. Ooh. It's wonderfully fluffy. Yay! Nice. I can't wait to see them. Okay. Do, 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 do. And then it's going to be all that. Okay. You. You actually need to be erased. I was gonna say. Booty, 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 booty. Actually, you know what? Let's drop your transparency so that we don't go too badly over that. No, I suppose I could have done the lawn grasses, but most meadows I've been in don't really have the lawn grasses. That's because everything, the sun freaking eats them. Okay. So let's go back to the trees. Ooh. What are you? Wait. There we go. Excuse me. Oh, you are not trees. Okay. Uh, let's bring. Oh boy. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna say that the weather is terrible outside. Hey, yep, that looks right. Well, it most assuredly is raining today. Woot. The thing about being part of the Midwest is that you never actually know what the weather's going to do. You get like an 60-30 chance that that's actually going to be what it is. So yeah, that's always fun. Woot woot. Wooty woot woot. I have a question for you, Lizardi. Have you ever heard of glaze? Not like pottery glaze or like painting glaze, but a program called Glaze or Nightshade. Because I know that you're a digital artist, but I also know that you do a lot more traditional work. Yes, you did. Yes. Yes, you did. I was very congratulatory. I'm not very good at celebrating events. I mean, for my own birthday, um, I did nothing for the most part. I felt really bad about it because one of my friends was like, "Hey, let me know what you want to do for your birthday." And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to do this thing, but beyond that, I have no idea." So, I am not very good at planning and executing party things. Oh. Well, as a traditional artist, I would recommend if you want to get into digital stuff, I do recommend Rebel, which is the program I'm using. Um, I do recommend also that you get a very good gaming computer for it. Reason being is that it takes a lot for it to render. That's one reason why it's so slow. Honestly, the big reason why it's there you go. Um, the big reason why it's so slow is because I'm live streaming it, so right? That's right. I forgot. You and I bonded over the fact that you have Rebel. Yeah. I'm super silly. But yeah, no, I definitely the more I do the live streaming stuff and the video stuff, the more I'm like, crap, I need a higher end computer than what I have, or I need to upgrade everything. Aw, there you go. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so where did you all go for your honeymoon or honeymoon? You know what? Sure, let's call it that. Yeah, that's the crazy thing is that everyone's like, "Oh, we'll just go and do Photoshop." It's like, but there's so many others. There's so many others. I also do videos with another program called Sketchbook. And oh my God, yeah, Corel. Oh my gosh, Corel is just I honestly am not a big fan of Corel Painter. I love Corel's like graphic programs, but Corel Painter, oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah. It's I, you could consider it closer to Procreate than a lot of these other painting programs. Um Yeah. Yeah. It is definitely a thing. Um, Hello, are you done pestering your sister? I doubt it, but you know what? One can only hope. Mmm. Yeah. Well, I wonder if it's still viable for your new PC. Nice. Have you ever thought about putting them on, was it Gumroad or something to go and sell them? There we go. Kind of? Maybe? I know that that's what a lot of artists who make custom brushes do. Right. It really is. It is so much the less cumbersome and very intuitive. Anyways, that might be a thing. I don't know how it works, but peoples are able to do it, so I figure it's got to work somehow, right? Anyways, okay. Um, well, as a digital artist, honestly, as any artist, if you're gonna put there you go. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Well, I mean, I don't know if yeah. Yeah. That's definitely a thing. It's not like I'm not guilty of it myself. Okay. Like I am very guilty of that. Yeah, it's always the workable files that we're just like, no. Well, if you still have the hard drives and everything, you might be able to go and send them off. So long as you haven't formatted them or anything, you might be able to go and send them off to see if you can retrieve them. You're gonna harass your sister and she's going to beat you again. That's sorry. Yeah, that, I mean, that sucks and I'm sorry. Words are hard. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a true thing. Yeah, I'm super paranoid about that. Actually, most of my hard drives are taken up by backups of backups of backups because I am that paranoid. Whenever I go onto one of my sprits, or I'm just like, okay, everything needs to be backed up. It's honestly kind of terrifying. You know what? Let's scoot you to about... Hey, little one. Is your brother harassing you? Come on. Well, actually, probably not necessarily a good idea because I am going to have to get up shortly, but you know what? Say lovey. Okay. And you know, depending on how long it's been since you've checked out your programs or your hard drives, just randomly it might work. Because let's face it, computers are weird. What are you doing, weirdo? I have had that happen once or twice where I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna plug this in to see if anything's on it. And then I plug it in and find it, stuff that's on it. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, wait. Let's see. Okay, let's go back to the people. Well, okay, what about that and... But yeah, speaking of, well, so what did you guys go and do this year to go and celebrate your happy holiday or oh my goodness, anniversary? Goodness gracious, I cannot talk. I'm very aware I can't do anything with you. And oh, I should probably do something for stuff. Grashy grass. 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 And yes, I am getting up there in my layer levels again. But the difference is that this one's like way bigger. Hello, my munchkin. What trouble are you causing now? Do not antagonize your sister. Love how you're acting like, yeah, you totally will. Hey, what did I just say? Don't antagonize me either. I still have to work, little one. Hi. Seriously. You know what? This is your fault at this point. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I'm going to get as much work done today as I wanted to on this. Guess I gotta keep them from not killing each other. Well, I've gotta... There we go. Okay, there's that. Okay. Sorry, I got caught up playing with my Kit Kat. Because, yes, he is a little ball of energy right now, and I don't know what's up with him. So, woot. Okay. Oh my goodness. Mm. You give it a little bit more time for steeping. Anyways, sorry about that. You know what? I think I'm gonna go back to the birds. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. What is group? Oh, never mind. I know what that is. Okay. Children's. Okay. So, okie dokie doke. Yeah, I need to get you some coloring broski. Cool. Oh, bugger. Hmm. Okie dokie doke. And yeah, I forgot that does that. Okay. Let's see. How did I build you out? Okay, yeah. Kind of. Okay, we'll leave that on for right now. And Go with you. Bump you up. And we'll go with you. How do we want to do this? Definitely need more work on. Oops. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. I think one of my fur kids just slammed themselves into the wall. Hmm. I think what's mentally killing me on this is the fact that it's taking so long to render. And it just means I gotta go and save it to go and buy new stuff from a computer. That's alright. Ooh. Second breakfast. What about elevensies? Lunch? Oh my gosh, there is absolutely no problem with second breakfast. Nice. Yeah, I honestly thought that I was being a really, really good human in the fact that thought that I woke up with my second alarm. Nice. Nice. If the kid can make it through Lord of the Rings, they hats off to them. I will say, out of the books I have tried to read of Tolkien, which does include Silmarillion, the trilogy, and The Hobbit. I think there's like one more that I tried to read. Right. Okay, so which Teen Titans? Are we talking the live action, the animation, or Go? Because Go is its own beast. I don't care who you are, Go is not like. Here's my controversial take on it. Go is not a thing. Nice. Nice. No, I didn't read I didn't read Lord of the Rings or any of that until I was in college. Oh my gosh. I can't even, man. I can't even. Go as its own monster. Now, I tried reading Lord of the Rings back in high school when I was like really into. At least they understand what they've done. That's all I can say for Go. Yeah, I still haven't finished the first Lord of the Rings book. I think I'm just gonna have to call it quits and read or get in on audiobook. Well, I mean, Lord of the Rings, it's in and of itself, it's a very good story, a lot of history in it. But that's the problem, is that it's a lot of history and a lot of, hey, there's this person thing. And unfortunately, you can't skip it because a lot of really important information is in there. The part that I always get stuck at is it's in the first book, so I really didn't make it very far. Is Lothloin. I know that I'm butchering that name. Um but it's right when they're about to leave and Gladriel gives Gimli the gift of 3 hairs. That is where I stop at repeatedly. I mean, not even the Old English is that bad. It's a little hard to get into. It's a little hard to read, but I've I actually read a lot of Old English. I think it's probably because it was really hard for me as a kid to read, period, and now it's translated as an adult into if words are beyond a certain length, I'm not going to be able to read them real well. Or if the letters seem like they don't belong in English, yeah. I have a really hard time reading non-English words. I know that sounds like a really weird statement to make considering it's all written in English. But yeah, like I said, trying to because of how dense it is, or at least my copy is, um I have an I have all the books into one book. And it's a very chunky book. And if you've read Lord of the Rings, you know it's very chunky. Each book is very chunky in and of itself. So, and Silmarillion was just as much. Have you read the Ready Player series, Ready Player 1 and Ready Player 2. An Eddings fan. Eddings. I know the name, but I can't place any of the books or any other stuff. Honestly, all I can think of right now is there's an author. I do recommend Ready Player 1 and Ready Player 2. Um, Definitely like the Ready Player 1, so then when you get into Ready Player 2, you kind of have a background of what's going on. The movie is very good, but like many movies that are based on books, it's the premise of the story, and that's about it. Like freaking, and this isn't even like a thing, but the story, or like you don't know about this in the movie, but the story starts in Oklahoma, which as a Midwesterner gives me great joy. Mm, okay. So here's the thing about like I'm very happy about being Midwesterner, hard work, all that yada yada country life type thing that I guess we're known for. There you go. Yes. Yes. We don't have that at my library. The to read list. I want one so bad. Anyways, being a Midwesterner, you very rarely get to see it actually like shown in movies and TV shows. Um Winter's Bone, don't know if it was Jennifer Lawrence's first big break or if it's the one that she was um ended up being known for. Oh my god, what did you guys eat? Yeah. You Yeah, no. I know for the online account for the book stuff. But we don't have that. We just have a holds list, and that's the to read list. Oh my god. My cats ate something and now I deeply regret my life. If it wasn't raining, I would be opening windows. And if it wasn't cold. Actually, you know what? I just might be opening windows regardless. Anyways, sorry. That's a bit TMI. Um anyways, so what kills me is that you'll see like these big um TV shows like The Flash or what was it? Ozark or Tulsa King, and they won't actually depict any area of the Midwest, like at all. I think the closest was Red, um, when they came to KC, but that wasn't even like a full on thing on that. So it was just very very much. Um, I prefer YA stuff. I will always recommend reading Tamora Pierce. Um, 100% anyone who wants to like fantasy, all that kind of stuff. Highly, son of a bitch. Highly recommend Tamora Pierce. Um, what is his name? What's his name? John Flanagan. Tamora Pierce has been around for a while. She wrote the Lioness Quartet. I'm very picky about what books I really like from hers. Um, she she has two different worlds, and the last one I read of hers, which takes place in her world of Tortall, um, sounded and felt very much like her Circle Opens world, and I can't say I'm thrilled about that, or her Circle world. Um, because I did not like that world. I don't know why. I just don't. I've read a majority of them, or read a majority of both books. I don't like her. What is it? I I I have a majority of her books, and I reread them at least once a year. Um, yeah, yeah. While there are some of her series I don't like, that's definitely some of them. Or I don't just limit myself on that. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'll go and I'll go and do some other, or I'll go back and read some of this other stuff to remember why, or to get some of the timeline straight. Because aside from her Becca Cooper series, which is a prequel, and her Numar Salamander, I think that's right, series. Uh, those are both prequels. Um, most of her stuff is in a timeline type thing. So you kind of, while you don't have to read them all in order, it's helpful if you do because you become more and more familiar. I think the first one of Tamura's series that I read was Protector of the Small. I think that was the first series I read of hers. And I absolutely loved it. A friend of mine gave it to me in let me borrow her copy in high school. And oh my gosh, I've never looked back. I was a very voracious reader in high school, but I think most nerds are. Then as we get older, we start getting way too many responsibilities and we're just like, I want to read. Hence audiobooks. Woo! Anyways, I read a lot of fiction. Um, it sometimes it's high fantasy, sometimes it's sci-fi. I didn't realize that 1984 was a dystopian sci-fi. I knew it was dystopian, but I didn't realize it was sci-fi. And then somebody asked me, "Hey, what genre are you doing these covers for?" And I was like, "Oh shit, that's right, these are sci-fi." um, I was like, "Oh well, okay." I did end up looking it up just to confirm that it was sci-fi. I was like, "Oh well, damn." Because it's very like subtle sci-fi. It's not like overt sci-fi. But anyways, so it's an interesting thing. In regards to that. Oh, excuse me. Um very rarely do I read biographies. I will say Jackie Chan's biography is very, very good. It ends with him just having completed Rush Hour, I think. But oh my gosh, like I haven't read very many biographies, but holy snickers. Like I figure that most biographies are like, "Oh yeah, I was a good person. Yeah, there were some terrible things in here." He's just like, "Yeah, no, I was a total asshole during this time period." It's like, "Holy shit, dude." Like he is straight up brutal. Um so Let's see. I used to read Aragon and Harry Potter once a year. And then all of a sudden I stopped reading them that often. I'll still read Aragon every now and again. But John Flanagan, I'll definitely read once a year. Um, I love his Ranger's Apprentice series. He started the Royal Ranger series, and it's amazing because I have so many of his books. And because I've been following them literally since high school, I have, like, right? Right? I have been reading some Agatha Christie. That's some pretty interesting stuff there. I gotta say, I love Poirot. He is amazing. I've read a little bit of well, I mean, each time I read the books, I'll while I will have actually read all of it, I don't notice I notice new details each time I go through it and read. There was something, I don't remember which book it was, but there was something in there and I was like, "Oh, I didn't notice this." Like an emphasis on certain words and I'm just like, "Oh, okay." One book I wish that I had read when I was way, way younger, but I read it in high school, was the Del Toro series. It's actually a two-parter, and it's it's an it's a mystery book. It's a fantasy mystery puzzle book. Um, because they don't actually, for the most part, they don't actually use violence to solve their problems, and that's pretty nifty. And the main character is like overall very stupidly humble, like super stupidly humble. They did do a TV series based off the books. um, huh. I will have to look that up. But yeah, I probably your son right now, I think you said he was 8, would probably get a fairly decent kick out of it, though. Let's see, what grade is that in America? Is that second grade? Yeah, I think he should probably be about that. I could be wrong though. About that age. I don't know. No, yes, first or second grade, right? So yeah, no, he would be about the right age range for the Del Toro Quest series or the Del Toro series. It's a two-parter. You have the Del Toro Quest and then you have the Del Toro Dragons. You need to read the Del Toro Quest before you can read the Del Toro Dragons. It's very important that you do it in that order. Um, so that's definitely a thing. And there was this, yeah, yeah. So he would be in the perfect age range for that. Um, I think, anyways. I would recommend looking them up, seeing what you think about that. He clearly probably has a high reading level for that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, no, I when I was in middle school, I started reading the Legend of Drizzt series. Um, I only got up to like 1,000 orcs, and it was so depressing. There were there were so many books I read in high school that were just like, you probably shouldn't be reading that. No, there was this book series that my dad got me into. It was interesting. So my family is a family of voracious readers, and there was this book series that I think was a adult romance fantasy. And yeah, yeah. So I think my dad bought like the first two books to read, and then I finished them before he did, and he didn't get the next book. Um but I did, and or he didn't get the next book, and my teacher, dude, I tried to read that in middle school and in high school. Oh my gosh, that is something else. Dune is something else. It's like Lord of the Rings level type stuff. Anyways, so I see one of my teachers reading the book. I was like, "Hey, that's the next book. After you're done, can I read that?" And she's like, "No, you can't read this." I was like, "Why not? I won't tell anyone." She's like, "You can't tell anyone. You have to promise." I figure a decade out of school, it'll be fine. Um, so she did end up letting me borrow it, but years later, I realized it was very much an adult, an adult book, and I was just like, I don't remember any of the adult stuff in it. I did kind of like the concept, but it was a very slow read. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. She's like, if anyone finds out that I let you read this, I could get fired. It's like, why would they care? It's a book. It's a book about twins and people fighting good and bad and zodiac stuff. Why would anyone care? Yeah, that is how absolutely oblivious I was to the world of adults. I think I made my teacher just kind of look at me like I was crazy. Yeah, I don't know if you talked to me about that or if somebody else did or both. But yeah, I need to go look into that. Crucio books. Hmm. I will say that I was listening to Fourth Wing. It's super popular right now, and I'm so sorry. By the way, current book recommendations: Fourth Wing for adulty stuff. It's an interesting world build. It's dragon riders and things like that. It's an um interesting things on that. Nice. Yeah, see, I'm not really interested in the adulty stuff. I'm more interested in the worlds and the political stuff that's going on in them. It's one reason why I absolutely refuse to read uh Handmaid's Tale. I've seen the show, not all of it. I was just Jackie. I know her name. That one I do know. I think my friend has that series or had that series. So, anyways, but yeah, it was yeah, right. Gosh, politics. Can we ever be done with them? No. Um yeah, but it would be like reading 1984 right now or watching Idiocracy again. I've only seen it 3 times. The first time just to go and watch it, and I watched it with same friend. Yeah, yeah. Um, but I watched Idiocracy with same friend, and then I've shown it to other people, and oh my god, we all were just like, this is a little disturbing. Unfortunately, it's not getting much better. Anyways, uh, but yeah, regardless, it's ooh, that sounds good. Oh, speaking of Blind Assassin, I have tried to read, what was it? Oh, it's this amazing trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. It might be a quartet now. Um, oh gosh, I don't remember who wrote it. I've got a digital copy of it somewhere, I think. Um, God, I gotta go and find that. But I love the first book, love the world. Um, God, I'm gonna look that up during break because now it's gonna bother me. Um, dude, I want to read that so bad, but again, like Handmaid's Tale, I saw part two of Atlas Shrugged. I didn't realize that it was a multi-part series when I watched it, and I was just like, "Oh, this looks interesting." And then, as now, granted, it's been a few years since I've seen it, but as an adult, I was like, "Oh, I don't like this anymore." It's just like, getting to be older, while it's very, very good for lots of things, it's not so great when you start drawing parallels. Um, yeah, so that's also on my like massive books of list or book list to read. I have so many things and I'm just like I don't know. Half of them are just like political commentaries, half of them are just really disturbing things. Do, do I want to read these books? I did start reading The Legend of Shadara series after watching the TV series. Absolutely fell in love. The TV series I really really enjoyed. Um I wish that they had been able to finish it. I'm sure that there were a lot of people that were upset about it. Okay, if you want an actual like fantasy book that he wrote, I highly recommend Tears of the Dragon. It is my favorite Stephen King novel. It's a one-off and I really wish that it wasn't. Um but it's so good. It's so good. I read it in high school and I absolutely loved it. And I don't have a copy of it. If I did, I that would also be on my once a year reading list thing. It's so good. Talk about political intrigue, evil wizards, betrayal, redemption. Oh my god, it has all of it. And like the world building. I mean, it's Stephen King. Oh yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I love it. There's no horror in it. It is literally good versus evil. And that's all it is. And it's not even like the main lead in it isn't even like, "Oh, I hate this person because they betrayed me." They're like, "Okay, I understand that you betrayed me, but we need to focus on this dude." And there's like this whole redemption arc and everything, and it's amazing. And like the main character isn't dumb. Like he's not dumb. He's incredibly intelligent and patient and and you know, he has read a lot. I have read some of The Dark Tower, but I think out of all the books I've read of Stephen King, I think uh The Tears of the Dragon is my favorite. Um, I've tried to read Pet Cemetery. Oh my god, that was weird. I want to read it, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm ready for psychological thrillers. Though I have read a lot of Dean Koontz. There was a time period where I read almost everything of Dean Koontz in like one summer. Yeah, Eyes of the Dragon. Sorry, I said that wrong. I mean, it's been a hot minute since I've read it. And I do mean a hot minute. But I do highly, highly, highly recommend if you want something fantasy based of Stephen King, Tears of the Dragon. 100%. Or, not Tears of the Dragon, Eyes of the Dragon. Damn it. Sorry. But I do recommend Dean Koontz. I guess he's supposed to be in the same vein. I never felt scared in his books. Like there was no terror for me. I I did read his Odd Thomas series. I didn't complete it. Um there was a time period between two books and where it he had a small hiatus and when I read the next book it didn't feel the same. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to read The Shining. Maybe? I mean, I didn't feel particularly suspenseful, but then again, I'm not normal, so, you know. Um, but he's a very good storyteller. I don't think he's done anything like high fantasy. I think the closest he's come to is superheroes. And it's not like your everyday superhero thing, so which is nice. Huh. Oh, okay, okay. I get it now. Maybe that's the reason why. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, no, I really do like his Odd Thomas series. I was so the movie that they did of the first book was amazing, but I'm really really sad that they will never make another one. Um, yeah. Yeah. They had amazing actors for it. Aw, that's too bad. I understand though, but it's still too bad. It could just be that I go and or it's self-regulation type thing, you know, something familiar to help calm down. Um, but I think that it's something that I will always enjoy doing. Your beak is weird, and it's my fault. That's okay. Hello, little one. You gonna sleep now? You all burned out? I'm gonna have to get up soon. Yeah, I definitely have that problem. Um, dude, what did you eat? Yeah, there's a lot. Actually, I don't have a whole lot of half-finished books. Um, I have a lot of abandoned books, but not really half-finished. Half-finished indicates I'm gonna go back and actually read them. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I use Libby and Hoopla from the library because you know what? Libraries are amazing. And as we all know, if you don't lose it or use it, you lose it. So, I'm doing my part. Anyways, um, yeah. Oh, right. Current recommendations the is the Fourth Wing for adulty stuff. It's got a really good world build. Um, then uh, then the Villain's Assistant series. The Villain's Assistant series is very, very good. Yeah, the Forgotten is definitely a thing. I read I read was it Darkest Day of the Year by Dean Koontz, and um I had picked it up from the library and I started reading it and I was like, this seems awfully familiar. Like, but I haven't checked this out before. And then I was like, you know what? This sounds way too familiar. And I went and checked the ending of it. I was like, oh, shit, I have read this before. Oops. The year before, literally. But no, I'm definitely an advocate for libraries. My hometown no longer has a public library. It only has the school library. And that to me is a very, very not good thing. But you know what? What do I know? And I don't think that they have a bookmobile that goes through either. And mind you, this is small town podunk nowhere. And the closest library is at least a 20 to 30-minute drive. So, yeah, I will always and forever be an advocate because while my library by no means, my school library by no means was terrible, I mean, they freaking had Dune there. Um, it did not have the kind of access that my public library had. Now, what was really cool about my public library is that the librarian herself would actually supplement some of the books. And the Ranger's Apprentice series, those are from Australia. And she had a friend in Australia that would send her the new books after they had finished reading them. And then she would go and read them. So I got books directly from Australia. And what was really interesting is that there wasn't much of a lingual change. Oh, I can. That's not an uncommon thing. Like, they were debating whether or not to close the post office in town too. Like there are towns where I live, where I grew up that don't have post offices. Some of it's because they're really really small, some of it's because they just don't need them anymore. Like, and I feel like that's super dumb. Like, here we are, we could have like vending machine libraries or things like there are so many ways to ensure that there's actual like stuff coming in to get it for people to use that it doesn't cost a lot. Like freaking Redbox showed us that. Like literally you could have a automatic service or whatever, a little kiosk in a building, a public building where people can go in and out of, which most even small tiny towns have. And you can still um do have a post office, have like all these things, you know? But no, they would just rather not. It's like, guys, what the F? But whatever, right? We can't go and do that. It's like, guys, of course you can. It's totally a thing. Most places have a community center. But whatever. I mean, if the tiniest town in America has a library, a restaurant, and a post office with a single person, any place can have that. But yeah, yeah, the libraries are quietly being closed, as are the post offices. And I kind of understand it because, you know, people aren't getting regular mail. But at the same time, people are, yeah, yeah. I don't like what's happening, and I'm not really sure what I can do about it. That's that's essentially what a lot of this stuff comes down to, is that we don't like what's happening, but we're not sure what we can do about it. And they know it too. Like, I feel like Japan has a lot of this stuff figured out, but, I also understand that we be America. It's like, yeah, but what makes America great is the fact that we actually go and take the best ideas from every culture and try to, make it better, combine them in better ways. We haven't done that in a while. Anyways, sorry, I'll get off that now. I Yeah, yeah, it's very frustrating watching things happen. Just being like, guys, come on, man. But I will say, with the libraries having digital copies, it's better. I know it's more expensive for them, but I appreciate the fact that they're doing that kind of stuff. But even so, I still see like teenagers and things like that. Like, what'd be really cool to do is go to community centers, like, you know, 1 week out of the month, and then go like each week, have like the library go and have like a not necessarily a book fair, essentially a book fair. Go and have like a traveling book fair, and all you have to do is just be at the community centers. I feel like that would solve problems along with the book vending machines, you know? And that way you can also go and put in requests. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think you've actively been doing what you're supposed to be doing. But we'll find out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing is that especially out in the country, um, the only time that you could actually go to the library is if you were in town. And the only time that you're really in town consistently is if you're going to school. So, what I would do, and I'm so glad that my librarian was okay with it, is she would come in early. Well, no, she wouldn't come in early, but she would come in. She would come in and um fairly early, and I would be waiting for her outside the library because I'd be there early, and I would, because the library was super close to the school. Like I said, I went to a really, really small school. So I would go there and I would go there before school and pick up books. I couldn't necessarily do it after school because I would have to catch the bus, but yeah. Aside from that, one little thing, hi little girl. Um, yeah, aside from that one little thing, I would end up going there before school and get books. Once school actually started, we weren't allowed to leave campus unless we were going to jobs or we were going to, um, oh, I forget what it's called, the career center. Um, in which we would get specialized training for things. And I thought about doing that my senior year because I literally was just twiddling my thumbs my senior year. I only needed half a semester of classes and then I could graduate. But my school didn't let me do that. I either had to get a GED or do the entire year. My school was weird. The next year they went and did that. Needless to say, I was not a happy human. Anyways, going back to books I enjoy. What are some books that you like aside from let me look this up because as we all know, I'm terrible with names. Uh let's see. Nope, nope. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Eddings. There we go. Eddings. In Dune and all those. Like if you don't reread your books. I mean, my dad didn't. He read a lot of Lewis More. Um, what like you have got to have like a giant library of books that you have read. Like that's got to be intense. Like that much stuff in your brain. Rick Riordan, yeah. Oh crap, that remind wait. Yeah, Rick Riordan is the Olympian stuff that we were talking about. Um Frick. God, it was a super no, no, no. The cover I really was interested in the Assassin series because the covers looked like Assassin's Creed. Oh, man. I mean, there's that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, since you have Audible, have you been wait, I think it's on Audible. Have you been listening to the frick. What is it? Um He Who Fights with Monsters. Oh, there's one trilogy I haven't finished yet and oh shit, what is it called? What was it? Um Yeah, A Darker Shade of Magic. Dude, 300 together? Again, 300 together? I had. It's a trilogy. It's amazing. Highly recommend. All three books are out. I don't know if there's another one, but it's written very, very well. I love it. I haven't, like I said, I haven't finished the third book. Um, I need to reread it. Super amazing. Um, Gosh, now I can't think of. I cannot think of that series. It bothers me so much. Um, Anyways, The Assassin series I was talking about, I think it's a trilogy. It might be a quartet. Um, it's amazing. Excellent world building. I had to stop reading the second one because it was. I have a hard time with really dark stories. Like, there's a borderline of dark that I can go just fine with. Um, One series, I haven't completed it yet. Shit, what is it? It is, crap, what is it? And I think, yeah, A Dance of Cloaks. I think that's the name of the series. Or is it? Yeah, Shadow Dance series. Different ones than I was talking about earlier, but it's another Assassin series. I love the covers on them. Um, anyways, I like them a lot. uh, so yeah, no, I definitely recommend that one. Um, uh, Dance of Cloaks. Let's see. God bless, I don't remember what that is, and now it's bugging me to hell back. Blarg, blarg, blarg. There you go. Yeah, you've got well over like 1,000 books. Man, my manga collection is sadly lacking. I want to get it. Nice. I mean, yeah, yeah. I will definitely say probably as a kid, the my biggest hurdle as a kid was the fact that I came from a family that really, really liked books, and I had a really, really hard time reading them. You are having a hard time there, buddy, aren't you? Um, because at the time I was very much not a reader. Um, and being a not reader in a family of readers, like every single one of my family members growing up had you would not well, you would, but at the same time pretty much everyone had the same amount of books. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying now that you've got me onto Sonic and everything. Wanting to read the Sonic comics again. Um yeah. 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 There's nothing wrong with that. Um Now I want to go and read all the Sonic comics. And I was not. I had difficulties reading, and it it wasn't because I didn't like stories. Like I have some of the books I had when I was a child that I loved the illustrations. I preferred looking at the illustrations versus reading. Yeah, yeah. Man, that must have been hard too. Yeah. But I preferred reading or looking at the illustrations and um because I thought they were more interesting than the words because they help tell the story. And honestly, I wish that no, granted, back in the day, comic books were not what they are now. Um but I seriously wish that I had more access to comic books because believe it or not, I actually liked comic books. Um I liked the covers. I One of my favorite pastimes would be sneaking up into my siblings' rooms and looking up their D&D books and looking at the creatures that were in them. And I would read what they were, but being in school, you have to actually read books, and that just was not fun for me. It wasn't until honestly Harry Potter that I got into like actively got into reading. Um, and it was all because my mom gave me a challenge. So there you go. Yeah, yeah. I didn't. Yeah, no. That's awesome. Your dad is awesome. Um, so at the time that I was struggling to read, um, Harry Potter, the movies were coming out. The first one had just come out, and everyone was losing their mind. Well, my mom and I um, went to go and see it, and I wanted to go and see all of the movies when they came out. I was super stoked. It was amazing. It was all this kind of stuff. And my mom said to me, "Well, we'll go and see each for each book you complete, we'll go and see the movie." Oh my god, that's amazing. I don't understand the Dewey Decimal System. That's amazing. Like that thing, that is amazing. If you still have that skill, that is impressive. I'm not gonna lie, learning it in the first place is impressive. Um, about the best I can do is be like, okay, alphabetical. There you go. But yeah, no, the when the movies came out, I wanted to go and see all of them, and mom's like, "Well, for each one of the books that you want or for each one of the movies or each book that you complete, we'll go and see the yeah, right? Right?" And I was just like, "Yes, I'm going to go and read all the books." I had all of them done before the next year. I don't think any of my teachers realized that I actually had the will to read and was able to read. Well, no, I didn't have the will to read. I was able to read. I just didn't want to read at all. I had no reason to read. And um, what was interesting is I had tried to read because they were nice. Dude, cash money right there. That is amazing. But yeah, no, it was for everything that's going on right now. I will definitely say that the work is separate from it's a lot like performance art now. The work is separate from the creator because Harry Potter is definitely its own thing, and the for the most part, the people behind it, from what I understand, and even the points of view that were created from it, is just fantastic. Like from, I mean, yeah, I won't say that I didn't either, but yeah, I definitely was at the library a lot. in college. Oh my gosh. We had a we have a we had a really good college library. At least I think. Nothing like, the big names, but I mean, yeah. Bell would definitely be. That's definitely an appropriate response to that. I mean, honestly, if you didn't think you were Belle in a library, if anyone goes into a library and doesn't feel like Belle, two things: one, you don't like books; two, the library is not big enough. No, the library has always been like an amazing place. Probably so. There used to be in the town where I lived at. There used to be this amazing bookstore, right? Floor to ceiling bookshelves. And it went like into a little cubby hole. Like if you were a kid, you had to go all the way to the back of the building in order to find the kids section. But holy Snickers, was there so many books and the pricing for the books was redonkulous. Like I never actually paid full price for a book ever whenever this place was open. Now, this place had been established for a long time, so, man, I super wish that that bookstore was still open. Um, I don't really like most of the smaller bookstores nowadays, but oh my gosh, was this one amazing? Like, it smelled of books. And most of the books were just like paperbacks. They weren't like, fancy smancy books here and there. But that's where most of my family would go and get their collection of books. Now, granted, at the time, it was an hour drive up there, so to this bookstore, and it was just ugh. But unfortunately, it closed down while I was in college, and I think he's kind of still in business. I think he rents out booths at different flea markets. Um, because he had sold the building that was in. Ooh. Yeah, yeah. I think the most I ever paid for a book was like $10, and that was because it was like new or something. Um it was ridiculous, but I don't really like most of the bookstores that we have now. Um don't get me wrong, there are a few bookstores here in town that I'm just like, "Yes, I will go to you. I will go to you always," because they are community oriented and actually will help try and find and locate books, which is super nice. Um, the Midwest actually has a independent bookstore coalition, and it's got this really cool, amazing map that you can go and get, where you can see all the bookstores, all the independent bookstores on it that are part of this coalition. And it's amazing. So one of these years, I want to go and take a road trip and buy a book from each of the bookstores. And me being me, I know exactly like what kind of books I want to go and get. So yeah, yeah. I don't know if they have anything like that. Oh my god, that's amazing! 4,000 books. Oh my gosh. I will say one of the cool things that my library does is that twice a year they have a giant book sale. They take over this giant area, this giant arena, and they have stupidly cheap books for sale. Uh, like super stupidly cheap. There's actually a manga that I super want to get. Yeah, our Barnes and Noble isn't really doing that great. Um, actually, uh, the oh wow, that's amazing. We've got okay, so we have something similar like that here in Springfield or here in my town. Um, but the uh but instead it's a plastics reuse facility. Nice. That's amazing. But it's a plastics reuse facility, kind of. They go and sell bulk soaps and custom soaps. Um, and you just go and reuse whatever like jar, container, whatever you have. Yeah, the smell of books. Man, I miss that place so much. It was it was something else. Like when I was very very small, when I was a very small fluffy or well, I wasn't fluffy. Whenever I was a very small chillin', um it scared the hell out of me to go there cuz it it looks like a creepy dark, it was very much the creepy dark um bookstore, where bad things happened and all of that. God, I miss that bookstore so damn much. Anyways, but yeah, no, it but as I got older, I was like, okay, it just looks creepy. It's not actually creepy. Like the floors were sagging and covered with early 80s carpet, that ugly yellow, mustard yellow and brown carpet, like fluffy carpet. And um if you like that carpet, I'm sorry. Um but as far as that goes, it and all the things like there's like one light bulb per room. Um and like even the front part of the only light bulb in the front half was honestly it had two windows, one in the front, one in the back. Like not where the kids section was, but like in the back of the building. And oh my gosh, was it like it was super creepy. Um but yeah, it was just this amazing bookstore that definitely checked all the boxes for being the super creepy place. Um gosh. But like yeah, there was only one light bulb in in the front room, and that was right over the register area. And he sold movies too, which was super cool. But he had those up behind him. We never actually ended up getting any movies, but I got some interesting and semi-rare books. But yeah, no, it was definitely a thing. Well, yeah, I think he was just tired of owning the building, from my understanding, which is actually what's happening to a lot of the smaller businesses, is that they were really tired of just of dealing with the property taxes and things like that. He was actually looking for he owned the building that it was in and rented out to other people and the other facilities, but I guess things got dumb and he didn't want to do that anymore, and I guess he sold to somebody else. Like the building still stands, which is amazing, but I guess he sold it to somebody else and they kind of like kicked him out or something. That's my theory anyways. Because as soon as it was sold, he wasn't planning on moving because one of my siblings was looking at getting it because they thought that they were selling the bookstore, and no, it turns out that they were actually wanting to do some other stuff. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. Anyways, sorry, I will deal with that in a second. Um, but I guess he got kicked out or something like as soon as the thing was done with because yeah, he vacated very quickly from there and but he didn't have like a big sale or anything. Like we didn't like nobody even knew that it was closing down. Like we thought he was moving and stuff. I don't know where he moved to. Um like we were going to go there and everything and all of a sudden he just like disappeared. But yeah, the when it comes to literature, the Midwest is not that great even though we have some of the best like writers from the Midwest, like internationally known writers, classic writers, I should say. Like, don't get me wrong, the South has some classic writers too, but I mean, yeah, yeah. It's just something about the Midwest, man. But it's okay. Lots of new stores have popped up in its place. Um, but like I said, I'm not super thrilled about them. Being in the Midwest, there is one that's a little bit more religious than I would like. I'm just like, bro, please don't. Luckily, they're not overly religious because otherwise I would never, ever, ever consider going to them. But yeah, there is one store that's like super religious. I'm fine with religions, just don't say bad things. Don't simplify it to a child's, you know, everything is exactly this way. Religion is more complicated than that. I'm sorry. I'm a little sour. uh, anyways, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I have many different books on varying religions and took a art history class and took a lot of art history classes in college and oh my gosh. Anyways, what about you? You got a favorite bookstore where you're at aside from uh what is it? Barnes and Nobrains? Oh wait, yeah, that's that rehoming bookstore. That one. Do you shop there a lot? Yeah, book rescuers. Aww. Yeah, that happens a lot anymore. Is that they'll go and rebrand. Why are you doing that? That's not what I told you to do. Yeah. Do you have any bookstores or Where you're at? Aside from the 40-minute drive. I mean, yeah, but you know what? You never know what you're gonna find. God, now I want to go to one of the bookstores. I can't do that. I want to go to one of the bookstores here in town. Mm, that's probably good. Mm. I've thought about using was it thrift books for getting books? I definitely use like Gettysburg Press for some of the older ones, but like online hard to find things. Thought about getting going and doing that. There is this one manga that I want to read so badly. Now that we're talking about books and manga and things like that, there's this one manga that I want to read so badly, but it was never translated into English. Like they advertised it, but they never actually translated it. And it was one of the exclusives from Borders. God, do you remember Borders? Such an amazing bookstore. Do you read a lot of manga? Feel like if one of you reads manga, you both kind of read manga. Okay. Yeah. What is up with you? Oh, you're all good. If I'm distracting you, I will totally. Well, I definitely remember you saying that your husband had like a whole bookshelf of manga. But if I'm distracting you while we're supposed to be working, that's no bueno. Dude, we have honestly, now that I think about it, we actually have a pretty wide variety of both bookstores and um yeah. Yeah, we've got a pretty good variety. What manga do you have? Nice. I haven't watched or read any of that. I've heard good things about it. I will not judge. I read a lot of stories off of Tapas. I don't have as a wide variety of manga